The Very Serious Crafts podcast is on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/seriouscrafts to support our podcast, find out about our Patreon half-stitched episodes, and more.
Hello, and welcome to Season 4, Episode 11 of the Very Serious Crafts podcast. I'm Molly from Wild Olive.
I'm Katie Greenbean.
And I'm Haley from Red Handled Scissors and the Bones and Bobbins podcast, and several books on your bookshelf. Just saying.
Yeah.
Today, we'll be talking about the flouncy frippery that is lace. Did I write that? Before we jump into talking, we want to give a shout out to a few new serious friends of the Very Serious Crafts podcast who are now supporting us at patreon.com/seriouscrafts. Many thanks to Anna and Stephanie. You're the best.
We appreciate you. Thank you. And now let's talk about lace.
Okay. Actually on the podcast instead of not on the podcast, which is how we were talking about lace previously.
Yes. And then it was very much we should probably start recording because we're having these great discussions about lace and our dear listeners are missing out on it. And then, of course, we got sidetracked by technical issues, but now let's talk lace.
It was a side quest.
Side quest. With the lace wizard.
I'm thinking of all rabbit holes as side quests from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Because it brings an element of delight and surprise.
That could be life-changing right there. That perspective shift could be life-changing. And I'm serious.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Maybe you should try it with me. We'll report back.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yes.
So, where do we want to even start here? I guess opinions
Why
on
don't
lace.
we talk about how we feel? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So you read my mind.
Uh-huh. Because my favorite part of our planning is where I wrote in, love knitting lace. And then Katie added,
all caps. Really?
Yeah.
Because we know how Katie feels about this.
It's not my favorite.
At least the knitting part.
I love wearing lace. I like lace as a thing. I'm not against lace as a concept, but the creation of lace has not entranced me as much as other crafts.
Ooh, I should give you some lace for the tops of patch pockets or something, because I make lace in about the length that would be bobbin lace, specifically.
Yeah.
Which is nearly indestructible, so it can be moved.
Amazing.
When it comes to buying lace, that's pretty rare that I would buy lace to use, except that I do like the crocheted lace variety. Like the kind that you buy as or that it looks like crocheted lace. It's probably not actually that official technique, but definitely have purchased some pretty lace trims like that. And my favorite use of one, probably one of my only times that I've actually used it on a project, was the brim of my sun hat that I made, and I put that in. That was a good use of lace. But
that was an excellent use of lace.
I really want to make a parasol.
Okay.
Do some really ridiculous Victorian bobbin lace.
That would be fabulous.
For the edges.
But mix it up. Make it so that the rest of the parasol does not look super Victorian.
Which now is on my list of things to do because it's exactly what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to fulfill my destiny.
Exactly. On the topic of Victorian lace, by coincidence, I was watching a Masterpiece special on Queen Victoria, and one of the things that they talked about was the Devon lace that was made for her wedding, And
Devon lace is amazing.
yeah. And they talked about how many people really like had to come together to make this project, how beneficial and maybe life-saving it was for the town. And then my favorite little detail is that wanting the lace to be very exclusive, all of the patterns for her wedding lace were burned afterwards.
Whoa.
So, there you go.
Well, that is kind of delightful, though, that she was like, nope, my lace. But
Yep.
weirdly, lace has been the savior of multiple populations throughout history.
Yeah.
St. Catherine, who may or may not have been Catherine the Great, and they're conflated in a bunch of lace lore. It's a whole thing. And she wasn't, but in the lore, sometimes she is. It's a whole thing. But Catherine the Great ordered a bunch of lace that was unnecessary in order to put her people to work. So they could be paid. And there's a whole chunk of lore around that, which is really interesting, and why Saint Catherine, who is a different thing entirely, is the patron saint of lace, which is kind of neat. Or lace makers.
Yeah. Okay, I love that. Well, and that was Haley and we started talking about lace because I was tasked with writing up a post about Irish crochet lace. And so then I dug into the history of that. That's another one. After the the Irish potato famine, lace was the thing that saved them. They each made their individual crocheted motifs, and they like sold it through brokers, and those motifs then came together to create the lace, because that's how it's made in separate sections and then joined together with like a netting. And fascinating stuff.
Yeah, that's called groundwork, the netting. If you make it, if you're making it by hand.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, and
not that is happening in Irish crochet, but
yeah. So it was really, and then I actually took a craftsy. I watched through a craftsy class on it as well for like modern Irish crochet lace. Also very interesting because now it's moved into Eastern Europe as a big trend. So there you go.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Well, I think lace is really interesting because no matter what kind of craft you do, there is a kind of lace that you can make with it. So, like, needle lace. Definitely, well, at least French needle lace is embroidery on net, which is beautiful and very intricate, but it's a very different skill than knitting lace or crocheting lace or making bobbin lace.
Yeah.
Which I love that there are so many different varieties of lace. It's one of the things that I like best about, as listeners who have been here a while know, I'm part of the Brooklyn Lace Guild and I make bobbin lace. And it's just been fantastic being able to learn about all of the different kinds of varieties, and a couple of the people in my lace guild are specialists at the Met, and so they have personal collections of very rare laces in many different kinds, and so getting to see that up close and personal and actually examine the work is so cool.
Yeah. Well, and it really is, I think, like, you might not love one version of lace, but you could adore another style of lace making. Not even just from a making standpoint, but from a appreciating the look of it, because
oh yeah,
they all have similarities and yet can look very, very different. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, like 17th century lace is recognizable in, like, you can see how it was done, but it's an extremely different thing from like Chantilly lace or collars made of various kinds of lace. I really, really enjoy that you can tell so much about when a garment was made or what was going on at the time based on what kind of lace was happening and who had it.
Yeah. Okay, and then Katie, you said you have done some tatting?
I have taken a class in tatting and I loved it, actually. Found it really pleasing and satisfying.
But I like the tools.
Yeah, the tools are very cute and adorable. Mm-hmm. And I've not done any of it since the class, just because, too many crafts, too little time.
We deeply understand. Mm-hmm. But it always looks neat to me. Although when you're at like lace shows, which are a thing that exists, by the way.
I'm not surprised to hear this.
Yeah.
Regional lace guilds will put on basically conventions. Mm-hmm. And they will bring in people from around the world to teach because the world of lace is really small. And part of that is also a place where you can buy all of the tools, because this is one of those very specialized areas where a lot of the tools are still handmade by a handful of experts who know how to do the thing. And there are always tatting shuttles that are around. And I always think that it's so... I want to roll my eyes because they're like set aside. Like they are not really part of lace. And that is such utter stuck-up nonsense. And I want to learn tatting just because I think that's utter stuck-up nonsense. Mm-hmm. And I want to loudly buy tatting shuttles at lace shows.
So as we were talking, I just did a quick Google search and turned up a book called New Tatting, Modern Lace Motifs and Projects. It's currently the lowest price on Amazon is $55. But my goodness, just the cover has me going...
How modern is it then?
I've seen like books that cover tatting and they use like little motifs as jewelry components and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of wire lace work like that. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. The cover is just one motif shown over and over in different pairings of colors. And it's the book. I know that you should not judge a book by its cover, but the cover is calling me. So I don't know. Right. We'll see if I can track down maybe a better price on this. We'll see.
I wonder, I have a stack of lace books sitting in front of me because I have a small library of lace books.
Yes.
And all of the covers are extremely recognizably exactly what they are, no matter when they were published. They all look, I would say, vaguely late 1950s. And
all right,
like just the style. So I am picturing something very specific. The one I'm looking at has a 1982 copyright. Okay, but they all look the same.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have just found out that my friend Becca owns this book because she came up in the Google searches for the title of it. So now Now we're going to get somewhere.
Aha.
But also, I'm seeing libraries in my area that might have it. So, okay, we'll start there. Good. Well, thanks so much for this discussion. I'm going to have to leave now and learn a new
Molly
craft.
has a new side quest.
Molly does have a new side quest.
Oh, dear.
We are extremely good at generating side quests.
We are.
That is one of our main skills.
But I'm racking up some XP right here with these, so it's all good.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So I guess maybe we should actually talk about knitting lace, because that is what we were making faces about before we got on to the podcast recording, and I took over with bobbin lace like I want to do.
Here's my thing with knitting lace. I don't know what it is about. I can't label it because I don't really knit from charts. I know how to, but I choose not to. So I'm working off of written patterns, which probably not ideal for knitting lace, but there it is. I just keep coming back to it. The things that I love, they tend to be lace. I don't zero in on it. It's just, I really like this. And then I'm like, oh, I guess I'm knitting lace again.
Yeah, I end up knitting lace a lot, but I like doing it because it sort of gives my brain a little bit of a workout. Mm-hmm. But I also just find the blocking of lace to be so extremely satisfying.
It is extremely satisfying. That transition from weird wobbly jellyfish to amazingly beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I have gridded blocking mats, and so I can space them all exactly. We're all shocked that I do that, I'm sure. But
that is, I will say, that's what I'm missing. I still have not, I've still not made that jump to buy those because I always feel like,
Molly,
I don't know what I'm thinking.
Do you know what you make for a living?
I know.
Do you know how long you've made that? I don't think they're expensive.
No, they're not. I don't know. I will say there was something. Oh, you will both appreciate this. I was at Goodwill, and I was very excited because I happened upon a giant cone of lace weight wool yarn, and there was no way I was leaving that there.
No.
And it's rare that I find good craft supplies when I'm at a secondhand store, thrift shopping or whatever. So I found the yarn, and I think that gave me hope in my mind. And I saw this object sitting there, and I was like, oh my goodness, are those the wide blocking pins? You know, the ones where it's got a little handle on it with multiple pins on it? You know which ones they are.
I know.
And I was so excited. I was like, somebody gave away these blocking pins and I am buying them and knitting lace with them, and it's going to be wonderful. And they were self-inking stamps.
No!
I was so sad.
That was not at all what I was expecting.
No, but the handles were the same color and so as what all of those blocking pins are, and I was like, yes! No.
Oh, that's sad.
But I have yarn to do some lace knitting, and Katie already helped me choose a project that would work for it. So I
Nicely
don't recall
done.
What was the name of that pattern that you
The
suggested?
name of the pattern is Jamboree by my friend Francesca Hughes. It was originally one from Pom Pom magazine, and it was designed...
Oh, it sounds familiar.
It was designed to be done in stripes, but I made my version in one colour, and it's one of the things that I just wear the most.
It looks so good. Yeah. I mean, the stripes are cool. I love stripes, but it works so well solid as well. So I'm excited about that. Not casting on yet, though.
Not yet.
I can't remember, Katie, do you crochet as well, or is knitting your main fiber craft?
Knitting is definitely my dominant sport, but I can and do crochet. Because I illustrate for a living, crochet does things to my wrist that exacerbate RSI, so I have to be careful about how much crochet I do.
Yes.
I didn't even think about that, and that is extremely true.
Mm-hmm.
I always think crochet is going to be a nice break whenever I'm designing.
No.
And that is never true.
No, I have to be really careful.
My tennis elbow and I were good friends.
Yeah, like one crochet project a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never crocheted any lace. Never.
I don't know how you've crocheted and not crocheted lace.
My crochet tendencies are more towards the amigurumi end of the spectrum. So.
Oh, okay.
And that might explain why it hurts my wrist.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But okay, I would say though, sometimes we might actually need to define lace in this context though, because I think that sometimes what we would say is lace versus things that maybe are lacy could overlap. Because I would say that the Serato vest could fall into a type of crocheted lace that you have that vest that you have made.
This is a good point. I had
thinking.
Actually entirely forgotten about that vest. I would call that lace, therefore I have crocheted lace.
Yeah. So
okay.
we'll get a link in the show notes so that you all can see that pattern, which is it's fantastic, and I am about I would say a third to 2/5 of the way done with mine. But
it is fantastic, but it is also one of those patterns which is just in one size, so thumbs down for that.
Yeah, and there's some issues with that. We'll see what happens with mine. But if you are familiar with crocheting lacy things and garments, I would also say that you would be able to adjust the sizing. It would just take some effort with that. But yeah, it
would definitely be easy to adapt.
Yeah, but that definitely does require skills that I think we as people who make patterns have, but people who even are very skilled but generally follow patterns instead of making them might not.
Yeah. It's also it's also all in Japanese and is based off of you have to work off of a chart. So there's there's a few things that might make this
there's that.
I'm not
oh my goodness.
There's issues to deal with this, but the design of it.
But that said, correct me if I'm wrong, Molly, but
very pretty.
It was my first crochet garment, and I think it's your first crochet garment as well. So
yes, that is true.
It's not entirely unapproachable.
Yeah.
Can I complain about something?
Yes.
I just think everyone should know that you are taking your life into your own hands. If you ever look at lace weight linen and think, oh, that would be beautiful in a crochet project. Because you're correct. But it will ruin your hands.
Yeah.
For quite a while. I know this.
I have not tried this, but I've worked with it with similar things just enough to thoroughly believe you.
I have not tried this either, but I have just ordered some lace weight linen for a new knitting design, so I may live to regret this choice.
I'm just saying that it's probably the most difficult material that I have crocheted with on a small scale.
Mm-hmm.
I was also doing it on a deadline, I designed this linen crocheted clutch because it would match the lace trim on a dress that I also made for when my husband was nominated for an Emmy for the first time many years ago. And I thought that I would make everything and write about it for Craft Magazine, which
What
I
could go
did.
wrong?
Of course.
What could possibly go wrong? Which I did. And the pattern for this clutch exists. But I am here to tell you, it looked beautiful. Like, the sheen was lovely. But never, ever, 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 ever do that on a deadline.
Noted.
It's a bad idea. That is all. I just want to issue a warning and complain about linen, which is a thing that I generally speaking like very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love linen for
but
far as
lace weight linen, especially stiff lace weight linen, like before it's gone, before you've washed it and blocked it and done all the things to make it nice and pretty and drapey, is difficult. And I selected it specifically because it was crisp before being blocked. Because I was sewing a lining in and I wanted that structure. And it worked. But my hands have never been the same.
But see, now that... oh, dear. That does, though...
I'm not even kidding.
I believe you. It does give you some appreciation. Like, jumping back to the Irish crocheted lace, linen was... That was a very common choice. Maybe, like, the choice for lace makers when that became a thing. So...
Well, yeah, because linen could make the finest thread.
Yeah, so
like size-wise.
It gives you even more appreciation for the work that they were doing.
Absolutely.
Without electric lights to be working. And a lot of times they would just work day and night because they had to. So, wow.
Yeah. That's why there are entire candle related
Sure, yeah.
St. Catherine's Day celebration techniques. That's not the correct word, but we're just going to go with that.
That works.
You can thank my autism. So, but yeah, I learned a lot about candles being used in containers with water to magnify the amount of light that was in a room, because often you were doing this at night after you could reasonably see, and part of the celebrations for specifically St. Catherine's Day are you will allow yourself to let the candle burn all night and stay up all night making lace. Which is a luxury, apparently. Well, the candle was.
Right. Yeah. Well, here we are now. We've discussed the lace that we love, the lace we don't love, the materials, and so on. What any other additions we need in this discussion here? I will say,
block your lace.
Yes.
Yes. Well, now I feel like I'm gonna have to go and just buy the set of blocking, because as I was also talking about before we started recording, I do have a knitted lace project that I started on. Was it just last year? Was it the year before? I don't remember. It's finished except for blocking, and that's what's going to make the lace gorgeous. So I guess
I think it might have been the year before.
It probably was. That makes sense.
I don't know. Last year didn't exist.
Exactly.
No, but I think that about wraps it up.
I think so. That was a good lacy discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so thanks for listening to
Sorry.
What's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm trying to finish this, Molly. Come on.
I know, but it's kind of like the blocking. I can't just do the last step.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to do it.
Continue.
Thanks for listening to the Very Serious Crafts podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Serious Crafts and on Facebook at Very Serious Crafts. You can also find show notes and all things Very Serious Crafts at, shockingly, veryseriouscrafts.com. And finally, if you're a fan of the Very Serious Crafts podcast or Bob and Lace side quests,
There you go.
are a particular specialty of mine, please leave us a 5-star review on whichever platform you use to listen to podcasts. Good ratings help us show up in recommendations, which helps more people who love crafting find us.
Yes.
Yay.
Exactly. Now
Hooray!
we just
Bye, everybody.
add some little lace trim to this episode, and it's all perfect. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but we'll find a way. Imagine lace trim going around this podcast.
Yes, just close your eyes and a motif will appear. I don't know how, but I've decided it's true.
Excellent. The end.